Welcome to the Cool Tools Show. I'm Mark Frauenfelder, Editor-in-Chief of Cool Tools, a website of tool recommendations written by our readers. You can find us at cool-tools.org. I'm joined by my co-host, Kevin Kelly, founder of Cool Tools. Hey, Kevin.
Hey, it's great to be here.
In each episode of the Cool Tools Show, Kevin and I talk to a guest about some of his or her favorite uncommon and uncommonly good tools they think others should know about. Our guest this week is Matt Blum. Matt is the editor-in-chief of the Geek Dad blog, which has been going on for 13 years now. He's a father of two, he's a longtime software engineer, and totally incidentally, he's the person who broke the story on Boing Boing about President Trump's father having been arrested at a KKK rally. That was quite a story, and I remember Trump dismissed it as news, fake news from some little website.
Yep.
Hey, Matt, how are you?
I'm doing okay. Mark, how are you?
Doing great, thank you.
And I really look forward to hearing what kinds of cool tools you have for us. Nice to have you back. And I know you've always had great tools in the past, so we're looking forward to some new stuff.
Well, I hope you'll enjoy it.
Yeah. Tell us about this. You know, this is an Anker product, and I have had really great experience with Anker stuff. I feel like it's really rugged and never has fried on me like a lot of other kind of main brand name equipment. It's kind of like a top tier second brand line.
It's true. You do sometimes get what you pay for. I mean, it's not cheap, but it does last. I've also found, I mean, it's also rugged, like literally I found that I've dropped it occasionally, and it's been, you couldn't tell that I dropped it. I mean, not even a nick.
So tell us what it is and what it does and all that.
Well, it's the PowerPort Speed PD5, which is kind of a stupid name, but it's got four regular USB ports, which have the AI behind it, or what so called anyway, that will detect what the maximum level of power your device can handle is, and it'll use that. It also has, which I think is the coolest part, it has a USB-C port. So I can actually use it. I'm currently using it now, in fact, on my MacBook Pro instead of the power brick. So I don't have to lug the huge power brick with me, especially when I'm traveling. It's such a pain because it's so big, it's so bulky, so heavy. So I just take this. I can plug my iPhone into it. I can plug my iPad into it. I can plug anything else into it, and I can use it as a power brick for my.
So it's about the same size as a charger, as a power brick, right? I mean,
it's a bit smaller.
It's a bit smaller, but it's probably a lot lighter.
It is lighter, and also it has multiple purposes. I mean,
right.
You know, you can use. I don't have to bring any other chargers with me if I have that. I can just plug everything into that. It's perfect.
Okay, so you have so what you get out of it is you get one relatively lightweight, compact dispenser of USB power and also direct power to your laptop.
Exactly.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, it's very simple, but it does its job really well, and I've traveled with it quite a bit, and it's always been really helpful to have.
Right.
And it's $50.
Yep.
Right. And so to use it for your laptop, you have to have, you basically have a dedicated cable just for that, because it's not coming out of a USB, right? It's coming out of or is it?
It has USB-C. Well, it depends on your laptop. My MacBook Pro has the USB-C power.
On one end, and on the other end, coming out of the power port, is also no USB-C?
It has USB-C, yeah.
Okay.
It has one USB-C port and four regular USB.
Yeah, I have an Anker on my desk, a long line with 12 slots that I use on my desktop for.
Oh yeah, sure, yeah.
You plugging all your stuff.
Yeah, right. I almost run out of even with 12 right now. Looking at everything.
Yeah.
I don't understand why they haven't started wiring DC into homes. So instead of having, 35 little wall wart plugs everywhere using heat and energy all the time, that we just don't have 9 volts, or whatever, USB, at least 9 volts going throughout, low voltage going throughout the whole house. It would make a lot more sense.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they have started doing it. I don't know.
Or at least in offices too.
You can buy AC outlet, adapter, like that's just an AC outlet that has the AC, but then it has a couple of USB on it also.
Yeah, I wonder if there's a transformer or something inside that's consuming power
Probably,
or not.
probably is. Because
If there is, then there's really no gain. What I'm
Right.
thinking of is that you just sort of wire the low voltage for the entire house and have one transformer in the garage.
Yeah.
Whatever.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
That could be really useful.
At least in an office where everybody is coming off with their laptops and devices.
Yeah.
So what's another cool tool for us?
Okay, well, on a kind of completely different tack, there's the Philips Norelco One Blade.
One blade. Okay, so I have no idea what that look. So describe what it is.
It's basically.
What does it look like?
It looks like it's basically a stick with a thing with a pad on the end of it, but it looks like a very basic razor.
For face shaving.
Yeah, they make one for body shaving also, but
okay.
I only have the one for face. But the idea is that you can use that, and it does you can do all your shaving, and it can go through beard, it can go through stubble, whatever you want. It comes with some combs too, so if you want to leave some stubble, you can.
Mm-hmm.
And how is it cutting? Is it, you say it says one blade, so is it like a weed whacker? There's a little string that just sort of rotates around, and
it's got this. I don't know exactly what the mechanism is actually, but it's got like vibrating blades underneath like the pad. It's very. It
you
really
said blades, so there's more than one blade.
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
I guess they call it one blade because it's the only one you need for your head and your face. Maybe that's.
I think
what it is.
It's marketing. I think is the idea. Yeah.
Okay, so it's more like an electric razor then.
It is basically an electric razor, but it works better than any other electric razor I've tried. I mean, usually they're like I have to go over it multiple times, and it irritates my skin a lot, and it catches sometimes. But this, it just goes right through it. And it's, instead of having to clean it and instead what you have to do with regular razors, electric razors, you just you can just rinse this off quickly, and then you get a refill for it every now and then. And that's all you do.
Oh, it's, so it's replaceable. So it's the Gillette model. So it's probably free. The thing is free, and you need to buy the heads.
No, it's cheap, but you have to buy the head. Well, it comes with a couple, but yeah. But it's really, I can do a little touch up with it sometimes. I can, but I found if I let my beard go for a month even, I can just go through it, and it just goes right through it once, one pass, and it looks kind of like mowing a lawn, where you get this line in the beard, and it just comes right off.
Huh.
It's kind of amazing. I don't know what the technology is, but it really works very well.
Can you do a really clean shave if you want?
Yeah, you can. I've done a fairly clean shave. I usually don't go quite slowly enough that I get a perfectly clean shave. So I usually do a little touch up with a regular razor and and shaving cream. But I could if I like doing a little bit of touch up with the blade.
Sure. And did you mention the price on it?
I don't think I did.
I think it's $35.
Yes, that sounds about right.
35, and so it's presumably rechargeable battery inside, and
it's got it's fully rechargeable. It recharges very quickly, and I've never had a problem with it lasting. It never even comes close to running out while I'm shaving.
So it's sort of like a clipper razor. Yeah,
kind of. But you can use it as a beard trimmer if you use one of the combs. I've never actually done that because my beard doesn't grow in well enough that I really keep my beard for any length of time. But you could do it.
As somebody who has a beard, I'm not sure, but I don't have a mustache, so maybe this is perfect for me.
Yeah, it might be. It's very fast too. I mean, it's really, and it's incredibly small too, so it's really great for traveling.
Right. There's only 8,000. It only has 8,000 ratings on Amazon, so some people like it. I've never even heard of it, but it is interesting. I'm now very curious about what the technology is and how it cuts.
Yeah, like I said, I haven't really investigated. it's got this. It's a very thin. It's a very thin little head on the razor, so it's not. You can't have that much
Mm-hmm.
in it, but it lasts. I mean, the one refill lasts me a fairly good while too. It's not like I'm not replacing it like every week or so. I'm replacing, every maybe every 3 weeks, every 4 weeks.
There's the great discussion on Amazon, which I'm looking at right now, is whether it can be used on the sensitive areas.
I cannot speak to that. I have not tried it anywhere but my face. My wife did actually shave her legs with it once.
Okay.
And she said it was fine.
Alrighty. Well, great. Okay, that's cool.
So,
something I hadn't heard about before.
Yeah, I really enjoy it.
Okay, so you have another one for us, another for something completely different.
Yes, it's completely different. In fact, not even electronic. I've been eating a lot of frozen pizza. I frequently do anyway, and now that I've been stuck at home, I've been doing it more often than I'd care to admit. And even the really good frozen pizzas that you can buy, like the line called Screamin' Sicilian that I like, they're still kind of boring. Like, the toppings can be good, but usually there's not much kick to the sauce. There's not usually a lot of herbs on it.
Mm-hmm.
So Penzey Spices, which is a fantastic herb and spice company anyway, all their stuff is fantastic. But they make this one particular blend called frozen pizza seasoning. And
that's brilliant.
Yeah, and the bottle, even like the word "frozen" is written like it's iced over.
Yeah,
it's very cute. And yeah, you just sprinkle some of that. Basically, it's oregano and thyme and your basic Italian herbs, but it really just you sprinkle that on top just before you put it in the oven, and it really does it elevates it a level. It's well worth it, and it couldn't be any easier to use.
Right. And by the way, the Penzey's is a great mail order for spices from around the world. They have not just like saffron; they'll have 4 different varieties of saffron.
Oh yeah, and they have a store not far from where I live, and going there, the smells are just incredible.
Yeah,
because you can just go around, like you can just smell all the cinnamons they've got, and it's a fantastic place to go.
Right.
If you
and you mentioned a preferred version of frozen pizza, the Screaming Sicilian. Is that what you said?
Yeah, Screamin' Sicilian, actually. But
the what?
Sicilian? It's called Screamin'.
Screamin' Sicilian. And where are you based?
I'm in the DC area.
So I'm just wondering if you have other recommended national versions, or whether it's like if you're going to get frozen pizza, since you're a connoisseur of frozen pizza, what are some of the better varieties? Trader Joe's, does it have a good one?
Trader Joe's are pretty good. Yeah, I usually like theirs, and it's nice because they don't use a lot of preservatives, obviously, because they're Trader Joe's. They have some weird ones too, but like they have a peach balsamic one, which I thought which is a little strange for pizza, but actually worked. Yeah, peach balsamic. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know if they still have it.
Uh-huh.
I got one from there like a year ago, and I remember it. It was good. It wasn't something I'd get again, really, because it wasn't that good, but it was a little too weird for me. But peach and cheese is not the combination that I usually go for. But,
yeah,
I'll try almost anything once.
Sure. And do you use a pizza stone, or do you just pop it into a toaster oven, or?
No, it's too big for most toaster ovens.
Mm-hmm.
No, I just use like a regular old oven. I just put a piece of aluminum foil down right on top of the center shelf, whatever you call this, and rack. That's it. That's what I was thinking of. And then just put the pizza right on top of that. So no baking sheet or anything, just aluminum foil. So and that's just so it's easier to get out, because you can lift the sides of the aluminum foil to get it out.
Mm-hmm.
And I find that does a fine job. I've used pizza stones in the past, but I honestly, unless you're making like an actual like homemade pizza, I find it's more trouble than it's worth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It doesn't give you enough benefit.
So if you're going frozen, if you can get a Screamin' Sicilian and frozen pizza seasoning, you are going to be happy.
Yeah, in fact, that's what I actually had for dinner. That's totally true.
All righty. So now tell us about your fourth pick here.
Yeah, it's not exactly an unknown thing, but I got the iPhone, the Apple iPhone 11 Pro Max when it came out, with the three cameras on the back and everything. And I've really just been astonished at how good the pictures it takes are. I mean, I'm a decent photographer, but I'm nothing special. And I mean, I've used like a real camera in the past, but I don't have one right at the moment. But honestly, I find the pictures that I take with my phone are at least as good, if not better, than most of the pictures that I took with a real camera. And I realize that I'm sure professionals can do much better. But it's like some of the pictures make me look like a really good photographer.
I mean, is it because of the way that the software is adjusting the pixels and the lighting and all that stuff?
Yeah, they have this AI that works with it, and it like will combine different parts of the picture and different modes. You can use HDR for some of it. I don't even know all of what it does, but it does. You get like depth of field. I've taken pictures of my cats that I swear are like just beautiful pictures, and just really pictures of my cats. But there's like depth of field, and you can see like all the fur is standing out. It's like. I didn't do anything special. I just took the picture. It's really
cool. That's cool. And does it have optical zoom, or is it all?
It does have optical zoom. It has a telephoto up to 2 times. It also has a wide view, so it goes up. You can do half, 1 or 2 as your zoom.
Okay.
And besides the camera, how's the rest of the device? I mean, in terms of battery use, of all these other issues that you would want with a phone, size in your hand, and all that kind of stuff. So yes, this is a fantastic camera, but what about as a smartphone?
I really like it. I mean, I've had the bigger phones since the I guess it was the 8 that came out, the first 6 or the 8, whichever one had the 6 had the big one. 6 had the big one. Yeah.
6.
Yeah, I mean, I have large hands anyway. But my wife has very small hands, and she likes it too. So it can't just be because my hands are big. I find it's very nice to have it. And honestly, if I use somebody else's phone and it's a smaller one, it feels tiny. It's like, wow, this is really small. How did I ever use something this small? And it's very fast. It runs everything faster than any phone that I've had before. And this battery life is outstanding. I mean, I can have it on all day and call and text and play games and such on it. It's usually not, and by the end of the day, it's usually not below 80.
That's amazing.
I know, it really is. And I've had it for months now. I mean, it's not like it's brand new either. So.
Wow. Because I have an 8 and the battery life is terrible.
It's terrible. Yes. The 11 is so much better.
And is that because there's a bigger battery in it, or is it just better, like the microprocessor and all that stuff they're using is less energy greedy?
I think it's a combination. I think it's a combination of the two. But it works, whatever it is, and it doesn't get super hot either. So the battery isn't turning it into a furnace, which is nice.
Good.
Okay, so have you basically given up like a dedicated camera at this point?
At the moment, yeah, I just don't see the point. And I mean, one thing I didn't mention is it has a night mode.
Yeah,
it's mind-blowingly good. Like I was on a beach with like a fire going with a couple other people, and at night, and I couldn't see very far down the beach, but I took a picture, and you could see way more of the picture than I could.
Right.
And there was no flash, and it was just a really nice picture, and you could see people's faces around the fire, with the fire illuminating. I mean, I've never been able to take pictures at night that well.
And what about video? Same thing.
Video is very good. Yeah, the stabilization is fantastic. I was doing a test drive of the Chevy Bolt EV up in the Pacific Northwest back in the fall, And while somebody else was driving, I took a video. I just held up my phone, basically took a video through the windshield. And you watch that video, it's as smooth as you could possibly want, and the car was going at a decent clip, and the road wasn't the smoothest road ever. It was, but you couldn't tell. I mean, you watch the video, it's just perfect.
Wow. By the way, we've been driving a Bolt for 1.5 years and love it.
Oh yeah, it's a good car.
Yeah,
good car.
Great car.
Yeah,
all electric, fantastic.
Yeah, not good for like a really long trip, but yeah, if you're going to stay within like 200 miles, it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's really great. So tell us about your current projects and where we can hear more about what you're up to.
Well, mostly what I've been working on is Geek Dad. I also edit Geek Mom sometimes, as well as our sister blog, geekdad.com and geekmom.com. I don't get to do as much writing for it as I'd like to, but I'm hoping to get more of that done. The demands of my day job, unfortunately, have to take precedence.
And tell us a little bit about Geek Dad for those who don't know about Geek Dad.
Well, I mean, it's as the name would imply, it's aimed at geeks and parents. And although we have things that are just good, plenty of things that are good for people who aren't parents. But we tend to have a lot of movie reviews when there were still movies coming out, TV shows, comic books, games. We have articles just like about parenting, about things that have happened in people's lives. It's been around for 13 years. It actually was started by Chris Anderson, who was the editor-in-chief of Wired magazine, as I'm sure you'll remember, Kevin. And were you on the blog for a little while?
I was at the very, very beginning, I think.
I thought you were.
Yeah.
And so I got started there not too long after it started, and just been there ever since. And we've had a lot of people come and people go, and we have a lot of people who write regularly and a lot of people who write every now and then. But it's been a lot of fun, and I've gotten to interview a lot of really cool people.
And if do you have like a blog or somewhere if someone wanted to hear what you were up to and keeping tabs with you, social media or anything like that?
I have a Twitter account that I do sometimes tweet on, Service19, and I also sometimes tweet on the Geek Dads. It's Geek Dads on Twitter because somebody else already had Geek Dad. So what are you going to do? And
what are you going to do?
And I post some stuff on publicly on Facebook as well. Usually political stuff I post there because we try not to be political on Geek Dad. So, sure. But
right.
Especially these days, politics is very much on my mind. So
yeah,
sure. Okay, and you're based on East Coast.
Yeah, right outside DC.
Well, Matt, this has been great talking with you, catching up, finding out the stuff that you're into. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're very welcome. I've enjoyed it.
Hey, everybody, it's your co-host, Mark, and I wanted to let you know that we have a lot more going on here in Cool Tools than just this podcast. We have our flagship website where we review a new tool every day. That's at cool-tools.org. We also have 4 different newsletters. We have this podcast. We have a YouTube channel where we review tools. And if you like what you hear and see and read, the best way to help us out is by going to our Patreon page at patreon.com/cooltools and donate at any level you wish. You can even contribute $1 a month, and that would mean a lot to us. The money that you give us will go towards paying for our transcribing costs, editing videos and editing the podcast. It goes towards paying contributors who write the reviews for us. It goes towards our equipment costs, our hosting costs, and it supports our very small company of 3 people. This week, I wanted to give a shout out to some of our Patreon supporters who have been giving us at least $2 a month. And if you give us $2 a month, we'll give you a shout out online. And this week, I would like to thank Michael Sakochia, Molly Starr, M. Velderman, Opposable Thumbs, Pamela Cooley, Patrick Weyer, Paul Hosey, Randy Fisher, Stuart Burrows Brand, Synaptic Sam, Therese Schwartz, Tom Hawkins, Tom Markham, What Bear, Javier Pangolin, David Lang, Eric Byers, Sean Hartley, Stephen Powell, Greg Lichtscheit, John Hobson, Adam Bristol, Adam Naher, Anonymous, Bill Kempthorne, Bruce I. Niles, Chris Woodruff, C. Kolos, Daryl Flynn, Egg Fleegoff, Eric Hanschrau, Eric Hoover, Godfrey Saldana, Jay Skiles, John M. Larson, Jude Galligan, Kenneth Gilman, and Lucas Frank. Thank you very much for supporting the show, and we will see you next week.